What up? It's your boy T-Bear and Reaction Days Music Monday. About to check out another episode of DJ Premier. So what's up? Salute to floppy dicks. Inspiration for me getting this. I've come back a little bit though, just still having a little of a writer's block. You just say, because I got the sample and the loop going on, just can't figure out what to do next. But this next one's episode, that's what here is off one of my favorite songs from one of the Gangstar's Protege, Group Home. I know Lil Dap, I forgot what the other guy name is who mentioned on here though, but that's my joint, Livin Proof. And Superstar, my other favorite joint too, but it's Livin Proof. Woo! That beat is awesome. I cannot wait to hear the story of this. I see you got a different album cover again this time. Shout out to Mantronics right there. One of the slept on producers of the 80s and 90s as well too. But yeah, Group Home, Livin Proof, dope joint. Came with his story for this one. So without further ado, here's So What's Up, episode 13, Group Home, Livin Proof. Salute to floppy disk. Let's get it.
I'm DJ Premier and I present to you So What's Up.
Okay, computer, run it back.
So what's up?
All right. 1994 is where it started. No, 1992 is when it started. But album-wise, 1994, it started. And then, 1995, it happened, the album. You know what I'm talking about? No, you don't? Or yeah, you do? Whether you do or don't, I'm about to tell you. Gangstar Foundation's own Group Home. All right, shout to Lil Dap, shout to Malachi the Nutcracker, shout to Guru, rest in peace, and shout to Big Suge, also the co-founder of Gangstar from the beginning, and shout to J. Rue the Damager. This is the original Gangstar Foundation because of Guru. And Guru said, I want to sign 3 groups and you sign 3 groups. I said, all right. He said, let's sign our crew. Let's sign Lil Dap and Malachi as Group Home. Let's sign Suge, since he's a co-founder of the group. And let's sign J. Rue the Damager. J. Rue the Damager came first because I felt like out of everybody, as a producer and just knowing what feels right, and also as a DJ, J. Rue was ready. So we started with him. We had the successful Sunrise in the East album, which is still to this day does its numbers, and still to this day is one of the greatest albums of my career and his, and just in hip-hop itself. So proud of that album. When it came to Group Home, it was a different approach for 2 reasons. Before I tell you the song that we're going to talk about on the floppy disk, I want to explain to you. The album kind of came together in a weird way. For Malachi the Nutcracker, he's from the Boogie Down Bronx, 183rd in the Bronx. I used to live there. Me and Guru used to live there for a brief moment. Shout to everybody, Panchi, Smiley the Ghetto Child, everybody from the 3rd. If you live there, you call it the 3rd. If you didn't live there and you don't call it the 3rd, and you say you have been around 183rd, you weren't around there. We were really there through everything, top to bottom. The reason why I gotta lead up to this story is because at the time before we did this record, Malachi the Nutcracker was facing a long bid because he got caught in 2 different scenarios that were gonna put him in jail for quite a while. He was 16 at the time, so he was underage, but I had to make a deal with the judge. Shout to Judge Bamberger. Thank you so much. A lot of people that knew the history of Malachi the Nutcracker, Malachi wanted to be a boxer. You see his physique and how he's built, and he's always with his shirt off, walking around, mobbing and all like this. He's really that way. But the thing is, he dreamed of being a boxer. We were going through issues where I was going to court for 2 years, working on the judge, even with a lawyer, still talking to the judge directly saying, Judge, why don't you just let him box, being that I got him in boxing school, and let him do that? She said no, because he's a violent offender. Twice, got caught within the same amount of months, and boxing is a violent sport. I'm like, yeah, but if he can get paid for it, what's the problem? She said, doesn't matter. She said, but I know one thing you can remember, remand. If you don't know about jail, remand means put him back in jail instead of letting him out on the street on bail. She said, you're in the music business, have him make an album. I was like, yeah, but he doesn't really want to do that. She says, album or else remand. She says it again. Mel's like, I don't want to do this album. I don't want to do an album. I'm like, dude, we're doing this.
Somebody told me when I was When I was working at my IT and a couple years ago, one of my co-workers though who was into hip hop as well, so told me about that Malachi Nut, about the Malachi the Nutcracker, whatever his name is. He really didn't want to do rap at first though as well too. He was into it as well as Lil Dap was. That's why he didn't do much of it outside of it like Dap though. But wow, now I'm hearing the story of why though. That's crazy.
Now, he was already down with the group home. That was a name that Dap came up with, just from us all being in the same circle when we used to live at Branford Marcellus' house in Brooklyn. When we moved back from the 3rd back to Brooklyn, that's how the group home name started, you know. And again, shout out to Lil Dap for that. Me and Dap used to play around with this drum set that Branford had left when he moved to California to become the music director for The Tonight Show with Jay Leno after Johnny Carson stepped down. So I used to always play it because I play drums, I play bass. Shout to Travis Scott's dad, Jack Webster, who taught me how to play drums, because we were neighbors when I grew up as a kid. And his mom, not Travis's, but his father's mom, was my English teacher. Shout to Ms. Webster. Moving forward, I'd always play it, and Dap would be like, yo, let me get on there, show me how to do that, and rock it. Dap kind of caught on to where he could keep a rhythm. One day, we're just all bugging out, drinking our 40s. This is the 40s era. This is 1992, to be exact. So this is obviously before I'm the Man was done with J. Rue and Dap on the Daily Operation album in 92. I'm playing the drums one day, everybody's freestyling, Dap breaks into a rhyme, and we're like, oh, Dap is rhyming! Oh shit, just having fun. Next thing you know, Guru does a demo for his Ill Kid sampler, which had a song called So-Called Friends. When I heard how him and Malachi rapped, I was like, yo, this could really work. So when you fast forward to where we are in 1994, first of all, we dropped a record previously, a single called Superstar, which did really, really, really well. That was the first single. So proud of that record. The video, everything. Shout to Fat Gary. We were on another Gangstar tour, and he was like, yo, I'll make sure everything goes right. Just send the director over and we'll get the video shot, and Gary made sure it happened. Salute to him, Gangstar Foundation family. With that said, Patrick Moxie, our former Gangstar manager for our whole career, said, I'll sign on the payday if you produce the album. Guru produced one track, I produced the rest. Shout to Jazz O, who also produced the track, and I did the bulk of the album. We had to come up with a name for the album. Dap said, let's call it Livin' Proof, because that's how we living. Like he said, we from the low budget environment, you know what I'm saying? So he always said it's all about the low budget environment. And because he called it that, I said our next single should be called Livin' Proof. Most records that we do always have a song to the title of the album. After Superstar, which to me...
Yeah, crazy. I always thought about that back then, like how songs be, a song will be to have the song based off a title song and all that, based on top of the album as well too. It's like you don't see that a lot with it, or they have like part of it as well too, or it's like the title of the album, but and more like with Any Heartbreak. You know, the album's Heartbreak, but you had Any Heartbreak and everything. You really see like a title song as a single for the album no more, or a song or a track on track on the album based on the title. You don't see that anymore. It's crazy. But that was big around like the 80s and 90s and even further back and all that. So yeah, and someone in 2000. But yeah, it's crazy how you never see that no more in like albums.
Me is one of the most creative records that I've done for anything in hip hop, and especially for Group Home to set off their career like Come Clean did for J. Rue. You always gotta come up with that second banger that follows up. For J. Rue, it was the original. For Group Home, it was this. Now with this, I said it has to rumble because we come from the car stereo boombox era, not headphones, and Walkmans were popping, but most of the people in our era, we had cars, Jeeps, SUVs, and all of that, and we had booming systems and rims way before it got to the level that it's on now. I had to make sure this thing rumbled. I found a stab of these two notes that just said, I don't know what it was. When you hear the you hear this thing going boom, 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 boom. And I was like, yo, if I beef that up in the bottom of it, when those notes hit, that's it right there. And then I started using these space sounds at that time to kind of bring the weirdness together to tie into my samples. Man, when I beefed up that bottom that I was hearing, now again, this is all your ear, what you catch. Okay, a lot of DJs have the same ear. Not if you don't do what I do, a producer, be a DJ. But DJs, we have an ear. We remember a lot of rhymes because we cut and battle, but we also just hear things that some people may not catch. When I heard that rumble and beefed it up on a separate track and timed it out with that Next thing you heard was just boom, insert this into the S950 Akai sampler, triggered by the MPC 60. When you put it in, this is what you hear. Do you feel that? You hear that? Well, again, you gotta be in a car or have a big radio. You ain't got either one of those, you might miss some of that boom. But the era that we come from, as I said, is from those particular sources of how we listen to our music. And with that said, the career of the group home began to take off. I remember Recipes of Prodigy of Mobb Deep. They said, yo, we're gonna have a shorties tour. It's because they were all, you know, this height. And they said, we're gonna all
Malachi was short too. Wow.
go on tour together. Mobb Deep, Group Home, Onyx. And from there, you know, the career of Group Home was put into a pedestal where their album is noted as one of the most classic albums in the history of hip hop and my career and their career and the Gang Starr Foundation. And again, I gotta thank Guru for even pushing me to do this. Matter of fact, can I get that album right there? I see, I can see it on the shelf. Note to the left, you'll a couple more, yep, right there. Pull one of those out. Classic, man, classic. There it is, living proof. Can't deny this, all right? Salute to Dap, salute to Mel, rest in peace to Guru, shout to the whole Gang Starr Foundation. And again, salute to this floppy disk right here, all right?
I wonder why I was wondering if he was gonna talk about the cream sample on there, though. Oh, my bad. I don't want to spoil that for you. But anyway, because you always know I do this because I gotta see what's gonna be the next episode, though, when the website should get repaired, though. But good episode, good information about how I get started, especially a situation with Malachi, like Nutcracker. Oh man. Like I said, I heard that somebody told me that my boy Dope told me that he like the dude didn't really want to do it at first, but then I found out the real story though that he was forced to do it because he had to go to jail, so that was crazy. So anyway, we're down to 13, so number 14. Oh, okay, we gonna get good. No, 14 definitely is gonna be a good one. I definitely can't wait though. Let me get it on the playlist real quick. Definitely gonna be a good episode right there as well too. So other than that, if you like my reaction, like, share, subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's your boy T-Bird signing off. One love.